Welcome to Bets on Bets on Bets, Off the Ball Network's premier gambling show on Sunday mornings. We get you ready for NFL Sunday from a gambling perspective. I'm your host of the show, Kenneth Cotterill from the Shooter Shoot Basketball Podcast, and I'm joined by my co-host, Pat, from Say It Out Loud Sports. How you doing, Pat?
What's going on, man? I'm wearing red today because I don't have any orange because I'm on fire. I feel like Elmo. Do you know that GIF when Elmo is just going like this and the fire's That's how I feel. I'm getting a little cocky this week, so it could come back to bite me.
Yeah, Pat's been on absolute fire as of late, ever since week one. I mean, you start 0-3, and then you've been 18-6 over the last 8 weeks, which is so impressive. As far as our overall show record goes, we're 31-23. Overall, we're up 12 units, which is what it's all about here at Bets on Bets on Bets. It's about making people money. I almost lost my voice at the football game yesterday. CFL football game, not NFL or college or anything. So just looking to get through this show here today. But before we get into today's episode, this show is sponsored by Built Bar. Built Bar is the newest sponsor of the Off the Ball Network. If your kids find out how good these are, you're going to have to buy more. They've got great flavors such as cookies and cream, strawberry, and peanut butter brownie. They also have a mystery flavor. If you guess the flavor correctly, you could win a prize. Use promo code off the ball in all caps at checkout. You get 10% off your order. That's at built.com. Fiance and I got ours in last week. Absolutely love them. Going to be placing another order for sure. So make sure to go and check them out. So let's get started. I mean, you roll out your first bet. You're the guy that's on fire. So what have you got today?
All right, first one. Sorry, Walker Bailey. Shout out Walker. Get this show started. I'm going Saints +3. I think they can win outright. The Saints have the number one rush D. We all know Derrick Henry's out. Julio Jones just got put on the IR, so that's a big threat they lose. The Titans offense did not look great. I know it was against the Rams. They got gifted 2 touchdowns to start the game and had 1 or 2 maybe pretty good drives. But other than that, it was pretty putrid performance, in my opinion, of Tannehill. The Saints I already said that, haven't lost back-to-back games all year, so the Saints are coming off a loss. They're 3-1 on the road, so that's not they can travel well. The Titans are the most penalized defense in the league, and I think the Saints can get some PI calls. I know that sounds crazy, but I see like Callaway getting deep. I think they can get some deep shots on this defense, and I see it being a low-scoring game, probably 23-17 type game. But I think the Saints can win outright here.
Yeah, I like that bet today. Like, I think a lot of people are really high on the Titans because of that Rams victory last week.
Yep.
The Rams, I think they just were flat last week. I don't think that it was anything that Tennessee did that was special. I think it's just, we see it all the time in the NFL where teams are just flat. Buffalo was flat last week, so was Dallas. Sometimes you just get those matchups. I like the Saints defense today too. Like, I think that they're gonna wreak some havoc. They're gonna create some turnovers, and I like that. I like taking the +3 because I think they could win outright as well. But obviously, +3 I think is great value there. So I like that pick. My first one today: Detroit and Pitt over 40.5. Detroit is terrible against the run. They're 29th in the league. They give up 134 yards a game. I know that they don't have Big Ben today because of COVID, but Najee Harris has been phenomenal for them. I think Rudolph's going to rely on him a lot. So I could see him having a multi-score game today. And then Detroit, they're just the kings of garbage time. Like, they just figure out a way to go and get a touchdown or 2 late in games. So I'm banking on this one being 28-17, 24-17 type game. So overall, I just think it's a low spread because obviously you've got Mason Rudolph in at QB and Jared Goff on the other side. But I think 40.5 is really low. So what do you think of it?
Yeah, super low total. I left it off my ticket just because I think the weather's supposed to be a little rainy. But I think it's just going to be a grinded out game. But like you said, the Lions are the kings of garbage time. So we'll see if they can put up that. It'll probably come down to that too. So I could see it being, like you said, a 27-10 type game going into the last couple minutes. And I feel like you're going to need Detroit to put up a score in the last 5-6 minutes of the game, but we'll see.
For sure. So what's your second bet for today?
I'm going Seattle, Green Bay. I'm taking the under. There's not much to be said about this. 49.5, I think, is too high. Russ Wilson's coming off his injury. The Packers' last 6 games totals, 44, 47, 38, 34, 45, 20. Last 6 Seattle games, 38, 23, 43, 43, 49, 47. So not one game has in these two teams gone over 49.5. The Packers defense has been playing great lately. I know Aaron Rodgers is back, but the numbers are there. I mean, they put up, besides last week, obviously Jordan Love put up the total, the Chiefs Packers was 20, but I think a lot of people blindly take the over in Rodgers games just because they see the fireworks being potentially there. I just see this game. I think Seattle's going to run the ball, try to establish a run again. They use a ton of clock on offense. They might hit a couple deep shots, who knows, but I just think it's going to be even 27-20 gets you there. So I think the under is the best bet on this game.
I think it is as well. I mean, you've got Rodgers, who hasn't been in the facility in a couple weeks. You've got Wilson coming off the injury. I think people think, oh, it's Russ and Rodgers. Like, they have to go over in that game. So I agree with you. I think that this is an under type of game. I could very easily see it. You said 27-20. I could even see like 24-21, like a score around there. I was looking, even watching NFL Network this morning, and they were trying to talk about like previous games that they've played, like in the playoffs and stuff, and they've gone over in those. But Green Bay hasn't had as good of a defense over the last number of years, so I think that that's going to be enough for them to hit the over in the game. Plus, guys, I think are going to be a little bit rusty coming out of the gate as well, so I like the under on that game. My second one is CMC anytime touchdown, plus 135. Last week, you were right on the whole, well, what's his usage going to be first week back? Well, second week back, I think it's going to be a lot higher. Going to PJ Walker this week, and Walker is going to be relying on him a lot. I see a lot of dump offs today. I even like the +9 in that game. Colt McCoy, I think, yeah, he wins that game last week against San Fran, but can he do it once again this week? Carolina hasn't been great, but Walker couldn't be much worse than Sam Darnold. So I'm also kind of banking on that. I think a week under his belt, this is the best value you're going to get on CMC right now for an anytime touchdown. So I like it at plus 135. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he scores. I think he scores multiple times. I think the Panthers can win outright. I actually bet on them. That's not an official pick. Doesn't count against my. But you said it. I mean, Colt. It's the year of the backup quarterback. Also, PJ Walker's making his first start of the season. We've seen crazier things happen. I put McCaffrey in every DraftKings lineup I have today. I know he's expensive, but I think he has a monster day. Kyler Murray's a game time call, so if he doesn't play, it's Colt McCoy versus PJ Walker. So I think it's a good. Yeah, McCaffrey has to get in the end zone today. Lock it in.
Yeah, because we know that DJ Moore hasn't been getting in the end zone based off my track record on this show.
I could use end zone too. Actually, I need him
for sure. So what's your third pick for today?
All right, I know the Raiders are 9-0-1 in primetime games as underdogs with Derek Carr. I saw that stat earlier this week. It's pretty shocking. So Derek Carr doesn't lose primetime games. He's the opposite of Kirk Cousins as underdogs. But this pick is more of a gut feel. I just think the Chiefs are going to come out and make a statement game, and they have a chance to be in first place of the AFC West at the end of this week. If Denver would have to, or the Chargers would have to lose to Philly. But that motivation plus primetime game, everybody's been talking about Mahomes being so bad, and rightfully so. He hasn't been good. But I just think the Raiders, in the turmoil, they always start good to seasons. That's been known. That's kind of the thing they're trying to break, the start fast, finish slow curse. But I think it continues today. I think the Chiefs go in the dome and put up some points, and the Raiders just fail. They just lost to the Giants, which I predicted last week. I thought that was the trap game. Not necessarily the trap game. I saw the Giants winning. So I think the Chiefs come out and get it done by double digits. And then the only thing that sucks about this pick is I have to root for Mahomes because his brother's on the damn press box stand. So please, if Jackson Mahomes, if you're watching, don't dance today. Just don't do it. Come on, just for me, one time. But my last pick, Chiefs -2.5.
For one day, just put the TikTok away so that way you don't affect our bets.
Yeah, I hope he went out last night and forgot to plug in his phone or something, and then he waited exactly 10. Just dance after the game or something. I don't care. Just someone take his phone.
I mean, I'm completely fine with a victory dance. Like, you want to do that after Mahomes has a great day, like, go for it. I'm not going to be watching it anyways. I don't follow you on TikTok. You haven't popped up in my feed. So, yeah, I'm completely fine with that. I agree. I think this is a statement game for Kansas City. I mean, it's hilarious that a couple weeks ago we're talking about Kansas City like, oh, the sky's falling. They're not making the playoffs. Like, there's no chance. But then they get some help in the division and they win a couple games in a row. Now suddenly they have a chance tonight to be in first place in the AFC West. So I think they take advantage of that. I know they haven't looked great the last couple weeks, but they played some pretty decent defenses. I'm not that high on the Raiders defense at all. So I think that this is a big statement game for Kansas City as well. My last pick for today is Cleveland plus 2.5. I think New England stinks. I said it yesterday on See You Sunday. They have one quality win on their schedule. I think the Browns defense, they're one of the best at stopping the run. They don't even have Damian Harris today, so they're going to be relying on some backup running backs to go up against a great run defense. It's not going to work. They're going to have to then move over to Mac Jones. We saw Cleveland last week going up against Joe Burrow. Burrow threw for 282, but he had no TDs and 2 picks. So I think that they're going to try and force Mac Jones to win this game. I don't think he's capable of winning a game of this magnitude. This is the first time all year that we've really been talking about New England as a potential playoff team. And I think Cleveland just comes out. I would take them outright, but I'm going to take the plus 2.5 to be a little bit more conservative on that front. But I think that they get to Mac Jones and he turns it over a couple times. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm on Cleveland also. I think you laid it out perfectly. I think the Cleveland defense is going to be the key to the game. I mean, obviously they're going to run the ball with Dearness Johnson because Chubb's out, but Cleveland's defense is, like you said, a top 3 team against the run. And then also against the pass, you got Myles Garrett causing havoc. So I think they can get pressure on Mac Jones. And if you put pressure on Mac Jones, I think he's going to turn. I mean, he's played okay. It's not like he's played, but he hasn't played good. His yards per attempt is under 5, I think, most games. He's check down master. He'll take his shots, and then people will come out of the woods and be like, see, he can't throw the ball deep. But this Cleveland defense is coming into form. You mentioned how they played last week against Burrow. They're getting healthy. Denzel Ward's healthy. So we'll see. I think you're right. I like Cleveland as well. I think it's going to be a crazy week. I love this slate. I looked at that game to give it out, but there's just too many good ones.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of value out there. There's a lot of steep spreads in games as well where I'm just not that sold on them either. Like we look at Jacksonville and Indy, like that's another one that I looked at where I'm like, man, plus 10.5 for that. Like I think that's one I'm going to be sprinkling some value on as well. Not an official pick, but just throwing it out there as one that I like in addition to that. So Pat, where can the folks find your work at home?
Say It Out Loud Sports. We've had a couple missed weeks in the past month, but we should be back and running every Wednesday. Say It Out Loud Sports on Instagram, Twitter, and then of course Off the Ball Network. Shout out to these guys. I had a rough UFC pick a couple weeks ago, but we'll be doing. I got December 11th card is on my radar, so we'll be doing an article for that. And then other than that, everybody else, Off the Ball is great.
For sure. Go and check out offtheballnetwork.com. That's where you can find all of our great betting articles. NFL betting article on there through 10 weeks. We're up almost 40 units on there. Last week was our first losing week of the season, so we're looking to bounce back in a big way. But last week was just that 1 week in the NFL season where you're like, man, all these heavy favorites ended up going down. So looking to bounce back this week. But yeah, check out offtheballnetwork.com. We'll be posting our picks here right away as well in case you are just catching the end of the show here today. And we'll see you guys next Sunday for week